Kia ora, Lily. Thank you for joining us. I'm James Meagher. I'm the Chair of the Justice Committee. Thank you for being with us today to provide us with your oral submission.
Tēnā koutou katoa, and thank you all very much for this opportunity to provide my input. My name is Lily, and I was born and live in Kirikiriroa, and I am tangata tiriti, and I believe this bill does violate te tiriti. I'm studying politics at Waikato Uni, and I've been really appalled to realise how little I was taught growing up about the history of this very country that I live in and about the tangata whenua whose whenua it is that I'm living on. So I'm still learning how to be a good tangata tiriti. But one thing I think I do understand is that I have a duty as tangata tiriti to stand up when te tiriti is continuing to be violated by this government, such as with this bill. I don't think the issue of this bill is very complicated at all. As the Waitangi Tribunal has found, the bill violates the principles of partnership and of good government because the government failed to consult Māori properly. Māori should have been, they should have had a say from the very earliest stage of policy development. And of course, if Māori were really given equal say in the Māori Crown partnership, we wouldn't be faced with bills like this in the first place. This bill, of course, also breaches the principle of tino rangatiratanga, which of course encompasses Māori having authority over te takutai moana, and this bill seeks to make it unjustly harder for iwi to gain customary marine title over their moana. The fact that the new test for gaining customary marine title proposed by the bill will apply retrospectively, I think makes this bill even more unfair, and I think that that's really unacceptable. I also have to point out that this bill is not based on evidence, it's based on ideology. And again, as the Waitangi Tribunal made clear, there is a complete lack of evidence to support the claim that the purpose of the bill is to restore the original intention of Parliament. And the Tribunal also said that the intent was for the test to be interpreted by the courts. So I think the disregard that this bill shows for the role of the courts is really concerning. And the Court of Appeal that made that ruling in 2023 that made it easier for iwi to gain customary marine title, that was for a reason. That was because te tiriti was being violated. And so this bill blatantly is trying to go back to violating te tiriti, and I think that it's backwards. And furthermore, the government is trying to amend the Act before the matter can be heard in the Supreme Court, and that is not right either. Most importantly, however, iwi have made clear that they are strongly opposed to this bill. And I think when it comes down to it, as tangata tiriti, the most important thing that I can say is simply to urge you to listen to them, to listen to tangata whenua. The Crown needs to respect its treaty partnership and respect tangata whenua and honour te tiriti. I honestly have started doubting the integrity of our democracy, because is it a democracy if the Crown doesn't respect their treaty partner? And is it a democracy if select committee decisions run completely contrary to the input they receive in submissions? I hope that these doubts will be proven wrong. And with this in mind, I would urge you to recommend as strongly as possible that this bill does not progress. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Lily. Thank you for your presentation. You talked about democracy, but also as tangata te tiriti, you know, what your responsibility is to speak up for this. Could you just sort of give us a summary, please?
Yeah, I guess, like I said before, being tangata tiriti, I think that in itself is a good enough reason. I'm here because of that treaty, and when that treaty is being violated in this way, that gives me a responsibility automatically to say, well, hang on, that's not right. I think that's really as simple as it is. Does that answer your question?
Brilliantly, thank you. Thank you, Lee. One quick question from Todd Stevenson.
Hi, thanks, Lily, for your submission. And thanks, I think I understood it. I just wanted to just make sure I understand where you're coming from. In relation to the treaty, do you believe the treaty gives the government sovereignty?
I believe that Māori never ceded sovereignty. And I think that if we have this treaty that gives us the principle of partnership, and we're supposed to have equal partnership between Māori and the Crown, we don't have that at the moment. And I think this bill is just another example of that being not fair. The Māori aren't given equal say at the moment. And with this bill, they weren't even given proper consultation, even though it is in regards to something that impacts them seriously.
So this select committee, and in fact, Parliament doesn't have sovereignty. Is that what you're saying? Just want to double check.
I think that Māori never ceded sovereignty, and we really need to work on actually giving Māori equal say as the Crown.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lily. Thank you for spending the time with us this afternoon. Speak to your submission. We appreciate you being here.